Hi, good evening to our lecturer, which is Dr. Chee Keong. So first of all, I want to introduce myself first. My name is Nur Izzah Sarnaka. My metric number is 277564. And also basically on this video, I want to focus explain more about the introduction from the analysis data that we are studied to complete the assignment project as well. So as we know, the mathematics words, we know as we can be related also with the numerical data that we can be counted and calculated to get the answer. But in the history of mathematics, it actually can be defined as the mathema, which is the mathema is comes words from the ancient Greek words, which is meant the knowledge. And moreover, the fathers of mathematics who is created the theory and formula of mathematics is Archimedes, which is this guy is very intelligent to solving any mathematical problem. But also, I want to explain the objectives of doing the analysis of this project, which is the first objectives that we want to focus is we want to identify the respondent of students' background, and the second one objectives is we want also to investigate the willingness of students to love the mathematics subjects, and the last one objective is we want to observe how increasing the grade of students when scoring the mathematics subjects. So by these three objectives that I mentioned before is very related with the analysis, and we want also to conclude the results. Which one is the effective of factors that will be give influence to students' mathematics. So I think that's all from me that I want to explain to you. I want to pass the next presenter to continue this presentation. Thank you so much.
Good morning, doctor. My name is Sitoromit and my metric number is 278050. Today I want to present about the chapter 2 methodology, the 2.1 data collection. The first is our type of the study is descriptive research in nature. In descriptive research, either they are qualitative or quantitative research, the methodology do not fit perfectly into the definition, but it still can utilize the element of both, often in the same study. The second is the descriptive study report summary figures such as the central tendency measures, including the average, median, mode, mean deviation, variation, percentage, and correlation between the variables. There are a lot of the methods that can be used to collect the student data. In our study, we are using the secondary data to carry out our study. The secondary data means that the data is already being collected through the primary resources and are readily available for others. Example for the secondary data sources are the book, journal, newspaper, website, blogs, and so on.
Very good morning to Doctor and my friends. My name is Ui-Zhu. My metric number is 277140. Today I want to present about 2.2 method of data analysis. First, all respondents are required to fill in the information, and those information has been used to compare with the mean score of the grade in each exam. The following table has shown that the scale of measurement for all variables. 2.3 Statistical tools use. First, we choose Excel as the tool that we use to complete our assignment because in the Excel, it's already present the formula and the function that can help us to collect, measuring, analysis, and making decisions. Besides, we also use Microsoft Word to help us to complete our assignment because Word have special design for performing multiple word processing tasks such as typing, editing, and printing textual data. Besides, Word also includes some tools for basic graphic design, paper statistics, spelling and grammar check, and so on.
Good morning, doctor and everyone. My name is Yoyan Singh, entry number 281204. I would like to present the data analysis of student mathematics. This paragraph shows that the student set view of the data. The high frequency of the female student is found at 77 students, and the male is 5 less than female, which is 73 students. The total of the student set is 150 students. So in addition, we can instead notice that the majority of the students who respond to this research study are female. This paragraph shows that the student age, we will see that the most frequency as among students is the age of 50 with 79 students. The second most frequency is student age 16 years old with 60 students. The frequency is following by the student age 70 and 18 with 8 and 2 students, and only 90 years old student respond. This paragraph shows that the job of the student mother, we find that the most common job of the student mother is other job with 52 mothers, which means that their job are not home, health, service, and teacher. The total is 150 mothers. Service is the second most frequency job of UM student mother. The frequency is following by the job of the student mother are teacher, health, with 24 and 16 mothers. The less frequency job of the student mother is at home with 15 mothers. Next, this paragraph shows that the job of the student father, we find that the most job of the student father is other job with 79 father. Service and the teacher are the second and the third common job. There are 73 and 16 father. A few father occupations are at home with 6 fathers. Next, this paragraph shows that the student study time. The most frequency study time is 2 with 72 students. This is mean that most of the student study time is almost 2 to 5 hours. The second most frequency study time is 1, which is mean that less than 2 hours of student study time with 43 students. The third frequency study time is 3, 5 to 10 hours with 20 students. Study time 4 is the less frequency of students in the subject mathematics. This shows that most of the students feel tired during this study time, more than 10 hours, with 15 students. Next, the program shows that the number of school access. We could see that the most frequent school access are 0 to 10 with 133 students. The number of the students is 150. Besides, the second most frequent of the school access are 11 to 20 with 14 students. We can see that only one student is accessed from school by school access 51 to 60. This paragraph shows that the student mathematics grade, they have 3 period grade, first, second, and final. In the first period grade, show that the most frequent is set to 10 grade. With 72 students, the total is 150 students. The second most frequent grade is 11 to 15, with 56 students, and the less frequent of the student grades is 0 to 5, with 5 students. This is show that the most frequent receive good grade in the first period grade. For the second period, show that the most frequent is 11 to 15, with 63 students. Grade of 0 to 5 increase 7 students, which is 12 students. In the final period grade, the most frequent also is 11 to 15, with 69 students, and the less frequent is 0 to 5, and also increase to 50 students. Finally, we could also see that the most frequent grade is 11 to 50. Next, this paragraph shows that the student of home to school travel time, they have 4 travel time. View of the data, we could see that the travel time 1 is more frequency of the student in subject mathematics. This is mean the majority student of home to travel time is 1 is 50 minutes. With 109 students, the total is 150 students. Second most frequent of the travel time is 2, 15 to 30 minutes with 30 students. The third frequency is travel time 3, which is mean that 30 minutes until 1 hour with 7 students. The less frequency of the travel time is 4, 1 to 10 hours with 4 students. In addition, we can know the majority student in subject mathematics of home to travel time is about 15 minutes. This pie chart shows that the student extracurricular activity, we can see most of the students respond yes in the data. This means that more than half of the students like to participate in extracurricular activity. We 82 students and the total is 150 students. Besides, 68 students respond no. Next, this pie chart shows that the internet access at home. View of the data, we could see that most of the students respond yes with 129 students. The total is 150 students. Only 21 students respond no, so we know that majority of the students are at home online. This pie chart shows that the student with a romantic relationship, so the majority students respond no with the 117 students. The total is 150 students. Only have 33 students feel that have a romantic relationship in the subject mathematics. Next, the last paragraph shows that the student current health status. We could see that the most frequent health is 5 with 73 students. This data is show that most students are in health state. The second most frequent health is 3 with 22 students, and the total is 150 students. This means that some students are monetary high in health. The less frequent health is 2 with 40 students. So with of the data, we could see that the most of the student current health status is 5, meaning the majority of the student current health is good. That's all for me. Thank you.
3.1 board spot. Based on the table and the board spot, we can see that most students get good grade in G1 because the student minimum score in G1 is 4, but in G2 and G3 are 0. However, median of student grade in G1 is 10, and for G2 and G3 are 11. It shows that generally student grade has been improved in G2 and G3 compared to G1, but they still have some factors that affect the student and cause their performance to degrade.
In our assignment 3.2 part, we use the mean to measure the grade examination based on the mathematics student. Based on this graph, the higher average grade of the student who are take the subject in the mathematics is the second period grade, and compared by the first period grade and the final grade. The mean score of the second period grade is 11.12, while the first period grade and the final grade is 10.74 and 11.02 respectively. However, we can see that the standard deviation of the mathematics student for the final grade is 4.5561, higher than the first period grade and second period grade, that are 3.6277 and 4.2219 respectively.
3.2 Factor that affected student grades. Based on the figure and the table in 3.2, we know that travel time recorded the lowest mean and the standard deviations among those factors, which is only 1.7333 for the means and the 0.0493 for the standard deviation. It means that maybe the factor of the travel time is not the reason why students get the lower grades in the exam. In another hand, Exam recorded the highest mean and the standard deviation amongst those factors, which is 6.59 and 5.8970 for the standard deviation. It shows that majority of students who get the lower grades because always exam the class in lecture time.
As the conclusions for this project, we can simplify that through the result data, which is the grade of the student mathematics. It depends on behavioral of students, because if they are not attend the class from their lecturer and they are not understand what the lecturer is teaching about the subjects, they could not to get the answer the question in exam as well. So thus, these factors also, which is the absence from the schools, will give a big impact on this analysis data compared to other factors. So it is clearly shown that when the student mathematics attend the class from their lecturer lessons, they will understand what the lecturer teaching the subjects. So they will get higher marks for scoring the subjects, and they will not failure or get a lower marks on these subjects. So I think that's all from us to explain the information data analysis for this project. So thank you so much for